Yo, what's good with y'all? We back with another video. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make some hard, dark samples for Herbo's new album, strictly for my fans too. So let's just get straight to it. So this is the FOP right here. It's a very simple project. We got 4 sounds and then the final sample right here. So this is the first layer that I started with right here. For this one, I used the Oliver piano. This is by Spitfire Audio. And then I went to the electronic tempo synced and I selected the preset called Hypnotic Reverser. And then I played this melody out right here. Just a very simple piano melody. It's just a D minor chord and then I just copied it over. I just brought the middle note down 1. The chords are very simple. It's just more important about the rhythm that I created. I want to create a very bouncy rhythm with this sample. Now alongside giving it more rhythm, I used Gross Beat. Now inside Gross Beat, I used the Distra 2.0 by DB and the Wizard. And I selected the Glitchy 217 preset and the Shark Fin Volume preset. So this little part where it's just going up is basically just playing at double the speed, and then Shark Fin is just a volume gate where it's just controlling the volume, kind of making it fade in and out, kind of like a sidechain effect. So for the top one, I just turned the mix down to 61%, and then the volume gate, I turned the mix down to 48, so both of these aren't taking over the complete sound. It just adds a lot more flavor. And that was it. No EQ, no reverb. I wanted to keep it plain simple and, you know, have a lot of bounce. So next, I just exported that into this wave right here, and all I did is I pitched it down 120 cents. The reason why I did 120 instead of just 100 is to kind of detune it a little bit. Sometimes when I detune my sounds, it just gives it a different type of feeling, a different type of like texture. Next, I opened up the SRX piano and the first preset, Premier Grand, and I just added the classic like low piano bass note. So this was obviously very simple. I'm just going on the root note, which is D. But instead of just having one note play every couple bars, I wanted to give it more bounce, so I added these notes in between. And to give even more bounce, I went down here to the velocity and I just kind of made it fade out. Just instead of a static, just piano, I wanted to get more rhythm and make it more unique instead of just one note playing the whole time. And then for the effects on here, I just raised the highs a tiny bit. And that was basically it. The next part is the most catchy part, obviously, the violin. Now this violin comes from the Nuclear Volume 1 kit with Max Shooter and Tri-Freeze. I went to the Phrases, Violin, and I selected the 4th one. First thing I did is I mashed it to 118 BPM, and then I put the mode on stretch so I could change it back to 125 and the sample would not move at all. The next thing I did is I reversed it, and it's at C sharp minor and our key is in D, so I just tuned it to be in key. And then this is the original sample before I flipped it. Before I flipped it, the effects that I put on here is just a simple ambience reverb. I just turned the mix knob down so it's not so dry. I added pancake and I just panned it left and right, and I turned the mix down to 37% just to give the violin a little more movement. And then lastly, down here on this EQ, I just took the lows out and I lowered the highs a little bit because it was a little too harsh. And then down here in the beginning part of the sample is when I flipped it. So all I did here is I took the original sample right here. I selected the stretch mode up here by just doing Shift M to highlight it. And I just grabbed the edge and I shortened it halfway so it's double the speed. And then lastly, all I did is I just reversed it. And then after that, I just pitched it down an octave. So that was how I got the first part. The second part right here is just the original sample. All I did is I just pitched it down an octave. I didn't speed it up or anything. I just like that little intro part, and then I wanted to keep the sped up part as well, so I just merged both of those together. And then for this part, I put a sound shifter, which is pitching it up an octave. Now I did this to obviously pitch it up an octave, but to also kind of give it more of like texture and just to kind of manipulate the sound. Same ambience reverb, I just turned the mix down even lower to 10%, so it's barely affecting it. And then lastly, this EQ, cutting out some of these harsh frequencies. And down here as well, I just took out the lows and completely cut out the highs because it was really harsh. That was basically a very simple sample. On the master, master, I have this first EQ, just taking out some of the bass and low mids, so those samples not so muddy, and then just raising the highs so it's a lot more clean and crisp. Sound shifter, pitching it down too, since the whole sample was a little too harsh on the high end. I want to pitch it down, make it a little more dark. And then lastly, just this soft clipper, just raising the volume. This is how it sounds without the master. This is with the master. So obviously a lot louder, sounds a lot more clean and a lot darker. Then obviously right here I just exported it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a very simple sample, not overthinking it at all. Just focusing on making each layer sound perfect instead of adding a bunch of different layers. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope you guys did enjoy and learn something new. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any more videos. Leave any video ideas in the comment section down below. Follow me on Instagram. I'm doing one-on-one sample classes, so if you guys want to sign up for that, make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.